Just like that. That was very good.
Volunteers are the lifeblood of 4-H, sparking curiosity, inspiring growth, and preparing youth to be beyond ready. As 4-Hers head towards State Day, today on Across the Fence, we're celebrating 7 exceptional 4-H volunteers who've been with them every step of the way.
Hello, Vermont. If you have a child or grandchild in 4-H, or were a 4-Her yourself, you've no doubt been impressed by the dedication of 4-H volunteers. And if you've ever worked with youth yourself, you no doubt also know that the work is deeply rewarding. Nonetheless, sometimes it's nice to get an actual award. So for National Volunteer Week, we're doing it. Or I should say, we're happy to lend a platform to my guest, who is here today to present some very meaningful 4-H volunteer awards. Amanda Royce is the 4-H volunteer and outreach coordinator for UVM Extension and the instigator of these 7 brand new awards. Amanda Royce, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I am very happy to have you here. I always love talking about 4-H, and I'm super excited to learn more about these award winners. Start us off by talking about what you do with 4-H.
Yeah, so my role is the 4-H volunteer and outreach coordinator. And most of my role is helping to recruit volunteers, train volunteers, onboard volunteers, and a big portion is really working with our county educators. So we have a county educator that manages every county. They manage 2 counties, which is kind of a big job.
Those are superheroes.
Yes, exactly. So I try to make sure that they have the tools and the resources so they're ready to successfully onboard volunteers, bring them into the fold, get them starting clubs. So hopefully their work is a little bit less and I can kind of help with that piece.
And so these awards, this was actually something that you innovated. You brought this to the table. Why, and what does giving these awards mean to you?
So I think the biggest thing is like our volunteers give so much. They really are the heart of our program, and they're running clubs and they're doing so many things. So I'm like, we need to recognize them in any way, in every way that we can. So a state level award is kind of a big deal. They kind of get some recognition at the county level, but I'm like, let's step it up. Let's really recognize some volunteers and just say thank you for everything that you do and all the time and commitment you're giving to really the kids and the youth and the families in Vermont.
Yeah, I mean, because it is always nice to be singled out, and their commitment is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary.
Yeah. So where are we on the 4-H calendar right now?
Yeah, so counties have just wrapped up their county regional communication days. So those are really our public speaking, it's all things communications. And so they finish their county level, and from there they move on to the state level, and that's State Day, State Communications Day in May, held on campus. And then from there they qualify to move on to the Big E. So it's kind of this stepping stone to communication mastery, if you will. They're really working on these skills, they're public speaking, and then they do it all over the next year where they're really just dialing these skills even more. So it's really impressive to see. Like, who gets excited about public speaking? Not many people.
Well, but I also think that this is something that if you're not in the 4-H world and you have that outsider's perspective and you're like, I think you called it cows and corn.
Yes.
I think of it as being rabbits, because that's what I wanted to raise when I wanted to be a 4-H kid. That we don't actually realize how much goes into, but then this is how these kids are developing these lifelong skills.
Exactly.
This is why we can say beyond ready.
Yes, and so communication is such a big piece to that, and that's why I think we hear a lot of feedback from alumni and even the older 4-Hers were like, I learned these, communication skills in 4-H. They're public speaking and they're talking about something that they're passionate about. It could be their rabbit, it could be their mountain bike. They can do any type of presentation they want, and we have performing arts, so they can sing, they can dance, they can showcase their skills.
We have had a singing 4-Her on the show before. He was fantastic, James. All right. Okay, so before we get to the awards, how much commitment is it to be a volunteer? Because maybe this is your moment, people out there. You're thinking you want to be a 4-H volunteer. What's the commitment like?
So I would say really the commitment is whatever the volunteer wants to make of it. So we have roles from 2 hours. If you want to come in, we're always looking for judges to judge kids, presentations, to judge at the fairs. But if you want to give a little more, we have what we call a special interest program. It's a SPIN, the acronym, and that is 6 hours. So if you want to dabble in maybe you're a sewer and you want to teach kids how to sew, maybe try a 6-week program where the spins we like to be at least 6 hours, because that's about the time that's needed to really develop those skills and have some fun. And then maybe from there you want to start a club. And so that can be a lifelong commitment if you want, or it can be, they're meeting yearly. So it's really, we're looking for foundation members if you have skills, in fund and development. But we kind of if you have a passion for teaching kids anything, come to 4-H and we will help you get ready to.
All right, there's the pitch. Okay, so now let's see the awards that you might possibly also receive. So, okay, so first up, we have the 4-H Spark Igniter Award, celebrating a volunteer who brings energy, creativity, and makes experiences come alive for young people. Amanda, who is the first ever Spark Igniter?
Yes, so this year's recipient is Cindy Cahart from Addison County. Cindy has been a 4-H volunteer for 27 years. So for over 20 years, she's served as the head chaperone for the National 4-H Dairy Conference. And what really stands out about Cindy is how she goes above and beyond. So when she's chaperoning these events, she adds extra experiences like visiting the World Dairy Expo, Capitol tours, and farm visits. So she's not just taking youth to an event, she's creating an experience that leaves them more confident, inspired, and with a clearer vision for their future.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Cindy. Okay, next we have the Green and Growing Award, recognizing a newbie 4-H volunteer who is already making a big impact in 4-H.
Yes, so this year's recipient is Emily Harvey LaCroix from Washington County. So even though she's fairly new in her role, Emily has jumped in with energy, passion, and commitment to youth. Having grown up in 4-H, she served as a teen volunteer, so she truly understands what makes the program meaningful. She runs engaging, well-organized meetings and creates new opportunities for youth, like organizing a mini quiz bowl and a hippology event for the kids in Washington County. Her enthusiasm and initiative have already made a big impact and truly reflect what it means to be the green and growing in 4-H.
Awesome. The third award is the Clover Commitment Award for a volunteer who consistently gives a little extra.
Yeah, so this year's recipient is Kristen McLaughlin from Rutland County. So Kristen is someone you can always count on. She's the person who steps in whenever and wherever she's needed. And what you really notice about her is just the extra support that she provides. So not just with the youth, but she's also helped fellow volunteers and even her newer county educator. So just really that kind of steady, reliable presence makes a huge difference in a program like 4-H.
Amazing. Well, congratulations to Kristen. Okay, moving on. We have the Blue Ribbon Belonging Award. Amanda, tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this one is for somebody who really just makes inclusive spaces for kids. So this year's recipient is Melissa Morin of Lamoille County. So where Melissa really shines is in creating those 4-H spaces where youth feel safe to be their true selves. She encourages them to share their ideas, express who they are, and support one another without judgment. Her thoughtful approach, creativity, and commitment to supporting all youth make a meaningful and lasting impact on the community, on the program and the communities that she serves.
Awesome. Congratulations to Melissa. All right, and next it's the Event Champion Award, which recognizes a volunteer who's played a key role making 4-H 4-H events successful and ensuring every 4-H'er has a positive, engaging experience.
Yes, so this year's recipient is Mary Fay of Chittenden County. So Mary has been a volunteer for 55 years.
Wow.
She's been a constant and a trusted presence, always stepping in to support youth and fellow volunteers. She brings a care and reliability that helps events run really smoothly. As State 4-H Horse Middle Manager, she's shaped quality experiences statewide while continuing to lead her own local 4-H club and just staying connected to the community. So whether behind the scenes or hands-on, Mary is someone you can always count on.
That's amazing. 55 years. Mary, you are an absolute champion.
Champion.
Okay, almost done. This one is the Friends of 4-H Partner Award, which celebrates a community partner who has helped expand opportunities for youth and strengthened the impact of 4-H programs. Who's this one going to?
Yeah, so this year's recipient is Bianca Fernandez of Brattleboro Union High School. So she's a social worker at Brattleboro Union High School and a key partner in a grant we have called Oh Yeah, Empowering Youth Agriculture.
That's cool.
So she has a real unique ability to turn creative ideas into meaningful opportunities for young people. So one example is that she helped create the Cave Kitchen and Garden, and this is a student-run cafe and learning space where youth gain hands-on experience in agriculture, cooking, and community service. And then through the Daily Bear Cafe, she's really just helping youth to develop those real-world skills that we're talking about while serving their community, all within a supportive environment led by her where every young person is feeling confident that they can thrive.
That was amazing. You're speaking my language when you're talking about cooking too. So well done, Bianca. And finally, you have a Legacy Leader Award to bestow today.
Yeah, this one's fun. So this one is The requirements are you have to have been a leader for at least 25 years, and we have a lot of legacy leaders. So this first year winner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 55.
Yes.
Yes.
So this first year's recipient is Beverly Wilkinson from Essex County. So she's been a volunteer for over 48 years. She's led the Lads and Lassies 4-H Club with an impact that's truly been generational. So now it includes her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. And she's just been a steady presence at the fairs, a strong supporter of youth at all levels, and a longtime leader of the Essex County 4-H Foundation. So her dedication has truly shaped generations in our 4-H program.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations to all of these amazing volunteers from all of us at Across the Fence. Seriously, thank you. Amanda, what comes next?
Yeah, so on May 9th at UVM on the Davis Center, we have our State Communications Day. So I talked a little bit about that. That's our big, kids are coming to present, but we're also honoring these and recognizing these volunteers. So we're going to have a small celebration ceremony, and it is open to their loved ones if they want to come and join in. It's going to be at 2 p.m. And really, we're excited to give out these awards in person, and we'll have we'll talk a little bit longer about each volunteer. This is just a snippet of what's to come. This is the snippet.
This is our snapshot where we get a chance to put it on TV, which is always kind of cool and exciting, right? Okay. All right. So last question. How can folks get more information about 4-H activities and becoming a 4-H volunteer? We just made the passionate plea to everyone about how important volunteers are. You've seen such great things from 4-H here on Across the Fence. If you know 4-H, talk a little bit about how people can get involved.
Yeah, so I think the best place is to go to our website, and you'll see there's so many things. I manage our Clovergram. It's a monthly newsletter. I highly encourage people to subscribe to that. That's where we're just filling in. We have really cool stories about highlights and what's happening, if there's an event coming up, if there's an opportunity, a scholarship. So really all things 4-H and youth that we're kind of pushing out. So I highly encourage people to go there, and then really reaching out to me. My email, just if you want to get involved in any level. Again, we're looking for volunteers. If you have any time that you would like to commit, we'll fill
Real
your
quick,
time.
you mentioned your emails. Tell us what your email is.
Amanda.Royce@uvm.edu.
Okay, Amanda.Royce@uvm.edu. You've got that. And yes, definitely start getting involved with 4-H. Amanda, thank you so much for joining me today. And again, thank you to all of those incredible 4-H volunteers. Yes. And as always, thank you, Vermont, for learning and exploring with me today. And thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.